What is up, my 4 subscribers? Glad to see you all made it back to the Mathaholics video. So today we're gonna find QR, which is what we're asked to do in the problem right here. Now, if we look over to the right, we see the law of sines, which is the formula we need to solve this problem. And it says sine of A, and there's no A in here, or B, or C. And there's also not anything in the formula right here that has two letters together, like right here. So an easier way to look at this problem would be to rewrite a couple things. Now, if I said 2x equals 4, well, the answer x would equal 2, right? Now, if I said 2z equals 4, or 2w, or 2k equals 4, all of these, their variable would be 2, right? They would all be 2. Now, the reason why I say that is just as a little example as to what we are going to change in this problem right over here. So P, Q, and R, it doesn't matter what they are. It's still the same as A, B, and C. Why? They're just variables, just like in that example. So that's the first thing I want to clear up. Don't get distracted, or don't let it confuse you just because you see different letters than what we're given in the formula, okay? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is what I mentioned about the QR and then only seeing one letter here. Like, how do I find two letters if we're only given one in the formula? Well, I know that may sound a bit confusing, which is why we're going to clear things up. QR, what is that? That is just, I'm going to highlight it. That is this line, that side right there. In case we don't remember from like first or second grade, anything opposite a letter is just that letter itself. So capital P, the side would be lowercase p. Capital R, the side would be lowercase r. Capital Q would be a lowercase q. And now we are really just saying find QR, which is right here, is also find P. Same exact thing, it's just written a little bit differently. So now that we know that it doesn't matter what letters we see, P, Q, R, A, B, C, whatever you see, it does not matter the letters. And it also doesn't matter how this is written, because all we know that we just need to find this one side. Now, if you didn't need that explanation, then I'm sorry that it made you sit through that 1 or 2 minute of me explaining it. But I'm sure at one point we did not realize that. So there's got to be somebody who doesn't really see that right now. And I hope that was a good enough explanation to clear up the confusion for you. So now that we know that really all we need to find is side P, we can get started with this formula right here. All right, so sine of A, we're going to look for a side on the triangle right here that gives us the angle measure and the side length. This is really easy in this problem right here. So we're just going to, for sure, use this R value over here. Now, we know that every single angle in the triangle has to add up to 180 degrees. So if you subtract 16 and 24 from 180, that's going to give you 140. Now, I don't know if we're going to need to use this angle for this problem or not, but I figured we might as well just have it out there in case we need it. Alrighty, so let's get started. We have sine of 16 over 21. Now, I'm going to put that R back there just to show. If you're using the R over here, you have to use the R over here. Now, we're just plugging in numbers into this formula right here. Sine of B over B, okay, well, what are we looking for? We're looking for P, and we are given that P's angle measure is 24 degrees. So I'm going to do sine of 24 over P, because P is what we're looking for. All right, now the next thing to do is cross multiply. So we're going to do these two, and then the 2 in pink. Bam. Let's use a green. Okay. Now I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. cross multiplying, that's going to give me p sine of 16 equals 21 sine of 24. Okay, so back to that example I gave you originally. If I gave you 2x equals 4, how do you solve? Well, you divide by 2 to isolate the x, divide by 2, and now you just have x equals 4 over 2, which is the same as x equals 2. So why did we divide by 2 first? Well, because we wanted to isolate this x, get it by itself. Why do we want to get that x by itself? It's what we're solving for, right? So when you see this problem at this step right over here, don't let all this fancy stuff confuse you or don't let it frustrate you. It's still the exact same thing you would do in that problem that I just showed you. We're trying to solve for p. That's what we've been trying to do from the very beginning. We're trying to solve for this p. So what do? We divide by everything else on this side of the equation to solve for p so that p could be by itself. So now we're going to divide by sine of 16. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to another one. And now we're going to get p by itself on this side. Let's do a black. Equals this right over here, which once you put that into the calculator, it's going to give you approximately 30. I don't have the calculator on me right now, but I did this problem earlier, and I just remember it being somewhere around 30. And that is your side length right over here. So it's asking you for find QR. QR, like I said, is just the same thing as finding this P, and it's 30. Now, if this problem asks you find the missing sides and angles and everything else just to complete the triangle, well, what do we do in that situation? We see that the formula says this is equal to this, which is equal to this, and so on. Now we have two sides and all three of the angles. You can just set this side or your given side to the missing angle and repeat the exact same process that we just did. I hope this video was some sort of helpful to you guys, and if it was, please like and subscribe. If it wasn't, let me know down below why it wasn't, and I hope that this made it all a little bit easier for you, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Thank you.